Prithee, fair maiden, or gentleman, wouldst thou be so kind as to direct me to your town's local reserve of water, or mayhap a bar abound with meat? How dare you? You deign to claim that I am nothing more than a common rube who relies on cheap tricks to tickle their funny bone? I assureth you, I am indeed a knight who hath strayed from the mine path, and I require liberations and provisions to regain mine strength. Do me the honour of gazing upon mine insignia and mine official seal of knighthood, if thou shalt continue to insist on ignorance. You still don't believe it for my words, even in the face of evidence? Well, be that as it may, you are clearly drunk to know what's going on. Else you wouldn't be rambling on about how knights do not belong in the modern day. I do not need the validation of some town drunkard, but I digress. We are both lost in this accursed forest, and thereby in one heap of a pickle. Fortunately for you, I am also a forgiving and renowned adventurer. Alloweth me to be your guide and bring us to civilized society. 'Tis my civil duty, after all, as stated in the Royal Code. Do not go too far from me now. Remember to stay close to mine shield, lest ye be the meal of some dastardly beastie of the night. It be rightfully shame if a garb with such an enchanting pattern were to be torn up, and I suppose it might be a stain on my record if you were hurt whilst in mine care. Well, you're welcome, I suppose. But I didn't intend that comment about your garb to be a compliment. As a knight, I have a particular talent for stating the facts, you see. You know, I saw a rather interesting hooded garb caught on a branch earlier. It looked comfortable enough, such that I was tempted to wear it to stave off the cold. But to my horror, on closer inspection, I saw it was inked with crude depictions of women looking up with their tongues sticking out. Doubtlessly the work of the devil, so I righteously wielded my torch and lit it ablaze. If I knew I'd find you, however, I probably wouldn't have used my last torch for that purpose. I felt uncomfortable seeing you shiver on an otherwise beautiful night. I don't suppose you would have wanted to wear that wretched garb, correct? You would have done the same if you were me? Good, good. I see we have a lot in common, or at least in terms of how we would use torches. I'd place you around the upper quartile of travelling companions, judging by how things are going so far. Although, that isn't saying much yet. Did you know that I once had a fellow who can tell the difference between wherefore and where? What a worm. He was good at making soups, though, so I can't complain too much. Say, I've realised that I've done much of the chatting between us. I've scarcely left any room for you to talk about yourself. You don't think your life is interesting enough to talk about? Excuse me for saying this, but that sounds patently false. The common man would lose his mind from being out here for so long. Either you're lying, or you don't think very highly of yourself. You feel really embarrassed to talk about your life when mine sounds so impressive in comparison. Well, this may come off as a bit of a surprise, but I'm not a very competent adventurer. I don't even have my own squire because I'm always so ill-prepared. I'm usually stuck bodyguarding nearby snobbish nobles to make ends meet. I suppose that's why I'm in this forest in the first place. I tried to make a name for myself by bringing back treasures, or rescuing people by journeying far from home. Well, at least I had the opportunity to meet you. That's better than nothing. Ugh, goodness gracious! What is with all this light? Oh? Is that a street light? Then, this must be a town. Just from this vantage point, I can see all sorts of advanced contraptions, the likes which no knight has ever possibly seen before. These will be excellent entries in the report of my travels. You must tell me all about your town, right after we get you home, post haste.